Picture this. You've put your heart and soul into your Etsy shop, crafted the perfect listings, yet nothing. Loads of views, but the sales, they're just not happening. It's a common tale and you're not alone in this struggle. But what if I told you that the secret to turning those views into sales is actually in plain sight? I've been exactly where you are, trying to transform those views into sales. But through my journey, I've discovered some powerful strategies that have helped change this for me. And now it's your turn. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you my favorite strategy that I've used in the past to convert a lot more viewers into buyers, and by doing that, really increasing my sales. I've also got a special bonus trick up my sleeve. I'll be sharing that with you at the end, so be sure to stick around for that. Let's dive in. Okay, but what exactly is an Etsy conversion rate? Think of it as a measure of your listing's power in turning viewers into buyers. It's essentially the ratio of the visitors that stop by your listing versus those that actually go the extra mile and make a purchase. So say you have 100 people visit your store. If 2 of those visitors end up buying a product, your conversion rate is essentially 2%. It's a straightforward way to measure how effective your listings are at turning viewers into buyers. Okay, but why do we care about that? A strong and healthy conversion rate means that customers aren't just visiting your store, it means they're actually also buying. Simply put, a higher conversion rate typically means more sales. And who doesn't want that? A lot more sellers are coming on board, which means that customers typically have a lot more options for them to choose from. And in such a competitive market, working on your conversion rate is really important. So how do we make our listings stand out in this crowded space? One really powerful approach is through marketing psychology. Marketing psychology is all about understanding the mindset of our customers. It's a blend of psychology and marketing that focuses on grasping why people make purchasing decisions and how they feel about those decisions. And by tapping into marketing psychology principles, we can forge a deeper connection with our audience, tapping into their needs, desires, and emotions. And successful brands around the world use marketing psychology to steer buyer behavior. They aren't just selling a product, they're offering an experience or a solution. And I think there's 4 main areas that they focus on with this. First is building trust. This is all about creating a sense of reliability and credibility in your brand and your product. Second, showcasing value. Here you demonstrate the worth or the value of your product, answering the question of, why should I buy this? Next up, we have educating the buyer. Informative content helps the customer to make informed decisions, which usually means that they're going to be happy about the decision that they made and also leads to less returns. And finally, number 4, we have evoking emotion. Emotional connections can be so powerful in the business world. And if a customer feels an emotional tie to your brand or product, they're more likely to purchase. And guess what? Similar to these big brands, us Etsy sellers can actually do exactly the same thing. There are so many opportunities out there to connect with the customer and to really resonate what they're looking for. This includes everything from how we brand our store all the way through to our listing titles, our product descriptions, how we price our products. There's a lot to factor in there. And each of these elements is a chance for us to tick one or more of those 4 marketing psychology factors we spoke about. So building trust, showcasing value, educating, and evoking emotion. And when you align your Etsy store with these principles, you're not just selling products, you're actually creating a story, a narrative about your brand. You're creating a brand experience that customers will remember and want to return to. But you know, in all of my time of tweaking and testing, I've found one particular thing to be most impactful when it comes to this. And that's how you use your listing photos. Before we dive into our listing photos, if you feel like you're learning something so far, I would love it if you could like this video and subscribe to see more content in the future. I'd love to keep sharing these insights and tips with you going forward. So, our listing photos. You can upload up to 10 listing photos for each Etsy listing. You might think, great, I'll just upload 10 shots of my product. But hold on. While showcasing your product is really important, it's not just about quantity. Remember, our goal is to build trust, show value, educate, and evoke emotion. And your photo cards are valuable real estate for you to do exactly those things. So how should we use our 10 photo slots instead? Well, I've got a setup that's worked well for me that I want to share with you now. First up is our main image. This is the one that you're going to use to really make a fantastic first impression, as this is the one that's going to turn up in the search results for the buyer. We're looking for something that's bold and clear and really captures the essence of this product. You also want this image to be aligned with your target market. So in this case here, I'm looking at listing a pickleball sweatshirt. My target market is actually both male and female customers. So as my first image, I use a product only image that doesn't include a model. And this single photo instantly starts to set the stage. You start to build trust with the potential buyer and also showcasing the inherent value that this is going to provide to the potential buyer. Now let's cover our next 3 photo cards, which I like to call our alternate product photos. And together they play a really important role in adding depth to your product story. They should help to bring your product to life and help the customer to envision what it would actually look like in real life. So you're tapping into their emotions and also showcasing the value that that product would bring to them. Note as well how I'm showcasing different color variations of this same sweatshirt. We all have different color preferences, so it's a good idea to help showcase those to the customer to help them bring this to life more. And if you're not selling something with color variations, for example, these photo cards are still a great opportunity to give a holistic view of what this product looks like. So for example, if it's a mug that you're looking to list, you could provide different angled shots or maybe a close-up shot of the mug to really help the customer to understand exactly what it is that they're looking at buying. Now, if you're doing print on demand, you may be curious about how I've gone about getting these product mock-up photos. There's a couple of different ways to do this. My preferred method is actually to head over to Etsy itself. If you go to Etsy and search for mock-ups and then for the specific product you're looking for, you're likely to find a wide range of different mock-ups that you can actually purchase for fairly low cost. So I would definitely recommend that you go and check that out. Then we also need to help our customers to understand sizing. This guide helps to get rid of any guesswork about sizing and helps the customer to make informed decisions. By being really clear about your sizes, you're educating your customers and also building trust. They'll know exactly what to expect and will feel more confident to place an order. Next up, we have a color guide. And just like the size guide, this is all about providing clarity. Showcasing the variety of colors that your product comes in not only provides visual appeal, but also helps the customer in guiding them towards finding that perfect product for themselves. We also have a product information card, and here's where you get to highlight the unique features of this product. You can use this card to detail any specifics around this item, such as care instructions, printing methods used, or anything else that you feel like the customer should know before they actually purchase your product. This really helps to educate the customer and also sets crystal clear expectations. Yes, you might have a lot of this information in your product description already, but what I've found is that customers typically purchase in different ways. And so not everyone is going to automatically be drawn to your product description and may miss it. So I like to personally re-emphasize this in a product info photo card. Next up, I have a reviews photo card, or one that I like to call social proof. And displaying customer feedback in your listing can be a really powerful tool. It's essentially social proof that what you're offering is appreciated by others. This builds credibility and trust and could encourage potential buyers to take that final step and make the purchase. Next, I actually use a card to try and upsell my customers. You know, when you're buying something online and you get that little notification of you might also be interested in XYZ? This is the equivalent of that. It's your chance to shine a spotlight on other products in your store that may also be of interest to the customer. So in our example here today, we're saying that along my pickleball sweatshirt, I actually sell other sports related designs as well. And so I'm going to use this to try to upsell and encourage that customer to visit my sports store to see if there's any other products that they may be interested in. And finally, we have an About Me card. This is where you can get a little bit more personal. Share your story, why you started your store, what your background is. Give the customer a little bit more information about who they might be purchasing from. I think especially on Etsy, potential buyers are really interested in supporting small businesses and understanding exactly who they're buying from. And so giving them a little bit more information around that can go a long way in helping to evoke emotion and build trust and credibility. So as you can see, instead of just uploading 10 random product photos, we're actually trying to utilize these 10 photo slots a bit more effectively to help to tell a story about what we're trying to sell. It's about providing a comprehensive view that not only showcases your product, but also provides a narrative around it. But that's all fine and good, but now you may be thinking, ooh, that seems like a lot of work. The good thing is that you can actually use different tools to help make your life a lot easier when it comes to creating these photo cards. The tool that I personally use to help me manage all of my photo cards is Canva. So let's take a look at that in a bit more detail. So what I've done here is I've created a template file in Canva that has these 10 product photo cards in them that I just showed you a second ago. So if I scroll down, we can see these 10 cards. The big difference here is that I've removed the pickleball design as this is my template file. So what I would typically do in this instance is I would take this file and I would go over here to File and I would make a copy of this. And this now creates an identical copy of this that I can now use for a new product. I can rename it at the top over here. So I could rename this to, let's say, pickleball sweatshirt. There we go. And this is now the new file that we're going to use to specifically make the mock-ups and the photo cards for that pickleball sweatshirt. So I've gone ahead and I've uploaded that pickleball design to this file, as you can see here. And now what we want to do is we want to readjust this to make it look a lot more realistic on this mock-up that we've purchased. So I'm going to scale it down to make it look more realistic to the actual sizing. What I would typically do is I will go over to Printify or whatever other POD provider you're using and actually compare the visuals of the design mockup that they're providing versus the one that we're building here. So I'm going to take this, I think that looks pretty good actually. I'm gonna put it down a little bit. And this now just looks a little bit more realistic. So we've got that. Now what I'll typically do is I'll go ahead and I'll copy this and I'll paste it to the next image. Move this down a little bit. Let's check for sizing. I think this has to be a little bit bigger. Maybe a little bit bigger. There we go. And then we'll do that again for the next image over here. We're going to make this a little bit smaller. Like that. I think that looks good. And then one last time, we're going to do that here as well for the male sweatshirt. All right, and I think that looks pretty good actually. So now if I look up at these images again, you can see we now have these mock-ups with our pickleball design located on them. Now, if I scroll down, one last thing, if you do want to use this additional photo over here on the further info card, you can also add your design to this as well. So I'm going to copy that again and add that to this one. And I'm going to scale this again. This one's going to be a little bit bigger because it's more of a close-up image. Maybe a little smaller. Like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good actually. So now we have our photo cards completed. You can, of course, depending on what the design is, you can go ahead and make additional changes to your other cards as well to make it maybe more aligned with the product. So maybe you want to adjust the images that you have in your upsell photo card. So for example, you could maybe just add different pickleball designs to this. You can, of course, also adjust other things such as specific customer feedback or the further information if that's something which will be adjusted or will change based on the product that you're uploading. So I'd really recommend that you go over to Canva and spend some time creating a photo card pack for yourself. Go ahead, have a look at the different templates that they have available on there and have a go at designing your own photo cards that are really aligned with your branding and what you're trying to sell. And then once you have that pack created, you can then use that as a template. So you can then go ahead and copy and paste that for every new product that you're looking at listing and simply doing exactly what I just did there. So uploading the design, making minor amendments where you see best fit, and then going ahead and uploading those to the listing in Etsy. Now to finish with, let's talk about a bonus feature that can really help to make your products pop. And those are listing videos. A listing video can basically be a dynamic counterpart to your static listing images. They're like mini movies for your products, adding additional layers to your story. Imagine seeing your product in action, as if you could actually reach out and touch it. It's about pulling your customers right into that scene with the aim of trying to build an even deeper connection with them around this product. Now the good news is that you don't have to spend millions of pounds, dollars, euros, whatever your currency is, in creating these videos. Again, there are different design templates available in Canva that you can go and check out. Have a play around with them. You don't need to create anything too complex or crazy when it comes to these videos, but use them as an opportunity to supplement what you're trying to provide as a narrative with your listing photos. Remember, your Etsy store is more than just a place to sell your products. It's a platform where you can tell a story, create an experience, and build a really loyal customer base. I hope this video has inspired you to take a look at your Etsy listing photos with fresh eyes, and also helped you to understand how you can actually use these to help to increase your conversion rates. And if you found these insights useful, I would love it if you would like this video and also subscribe below. I love sharing these journeys and these best practices with you, and hopefully we can continue to do so going forward.